Well, the Sixers do it to us again, don't they? The Sixers blow a huge opportunity, squander a game on their home floor against the Knicks, and they now trail 3-1 as they go down 97-92. Series heading back to MSG on Tuesday night, and their backs are against the wall. One game from elimination. There's a lot to be talked about and discussed, especially with the way this played down near the end. But honestly, I just want to rant, man. There's a couple things I really want to focus on and just rant about, and I'll give my thoughts, but I want to hear from Sixer Nation. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. What do you think, if you had to pin it, is the number one reason that the Sixers could not pull out this win? Give me your thoughts, and before we get into the rant, a shout out to our partner of today's show. Shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Southern New Hampshire University. It is 2024, and with a new year comes new goals. If one of your goals this year involves going to college, then I have the perfect opportunity for you. SNHU allows you to turn passion for sports into a degree with their online sports management program. You'll get to learn about the business and economics of sports, sports management principles, and how to gather and analyze data. This degree can help you prepare for a career as an athletic director, sports information director, marketing manager, and even other exciting roles in the industry. You'll get to tap into SNHU's network of grads working in sports-related organizations. SNHU has one of the largest accredited nonprofit online degrees in the country. They are radically affordable, and their online tuition rates are some of the lowest in the nation. So go down to the description right now of this video, click the link, go to snhu.edu/PhillyTake to request free info about the program and start your new year off on the right path. Upon request, a real person will even hop on a call with you to discuss how the program can benefit you personally. Once again, check it out. Click the link down below, snhu.edu/PhillyTake. All right, man, let's jump into this. So the instant reaction at the end of the game that I'm seeing from everybody is, oh, Joel Embiid didn't come up big. Joel Embiid came up small, and he's the reason they lose, and they always lose, and he's a choker. I'm not going to sit here and try to make excuses for Embiid. Yes, he was bad in the fourth, and he should have been a lot better. I'm also not going to deny the fact that he was doubled and tripled every possession. The Knicks were making good adjustments, throwing a lot at him. And once again, the rest of this roster does not step up. The way this roster has been constructed is pretty much malpractice, and we've known that. And, you know, we keep trying to look past certain things. And I feel like we've gotten to the point where, you know, Sixer fans are so numb to certain players and certain expectations that they just put on blinders to it, when in fact, it continues to be reasons why the Sixers lose. Again, Joel has to be better. And there are plays like, for example, this one, where I just do not agree whatsoever with this opportunity from Embiid. This was the play where the Sixers actually got lucky that they even had a chance, because Hart missed a couple free throws and Brunson had missed a free throw, and Joel gets it off the inbound after a free throw by Maxey, and he has a shot right here. Why do you not take this shot? I don't know. That's a bad decision by Embiid. That he pump fakes, tries to drive in, could have had a dunk, and he tries to lay it up and misses it. Wanted to get the foul. Can't happen. But at the same time, I could also question, shout out to Coach Gibson Piper here on Twitter. I said this during the live stream. Once again, had a ton of people in there. Number one live watch party for the Sixers. This is your defining play right here. Your season defining play with 1:26 on the clock. And you're down by 4. And your play that you draw up is a Kelly Oubre pick and roll with Kyle Lowry. That is your season-defining play. And you know what resulted in? What it resulted in? A Tobias Harris 3 in the corner. Look how much space he has here, and Hart dives in a little bit. And Tobias, of course, misses the 3. So that was your season-defining play. I was very baffled down the end of this game by Nick Nurse. Some of the play calls, some of the rotations. Honestly, one of the lesser games I've seen Nick Nurse coach. It just did not make sense at all. But here's a gem for the anti-Embiid crew. A lot of people are blaming Embiid, as they always do. I will continue to stand by the fact that Embiid has not had a solid supporting cast, and the Sixers continue to not build around him the right way. We thought that this team was different, that the core was different. But let's be honest. Their bench had 6 points in this game. 6. They also had a max player drop 10 points. He's averaging 10 points per game in the series. And Maxey had an inefficient game as well. But listen to this stat. Kevin O'Connor says here, Joel Embiid logged the 11th postseason loss of his career, in which he finished with a positive plus-minus. It has happened in all three of the Sixers-Knicks losses, and the Sixers are now a plus 34 with Embiid in 161 minutes, and they are a minus 37 without him in 31 minutes. 31 minutes, they are a minus 37 when Embiid comes off the floor. Matter of fact, in this game, he only played 44 out of 48 minutes, right? There were only 4 minutes where he comes off the floor, which is not usual for Embiid. He hasn't done that all year. And I'll get into that in a second. But Embiid comes off the floor, right? The Sixers have gotten out to a commanding start every game in this series. And they are up by 12 points. And this was one of those hectic games where there's like 20 lead changes and it's going back and forth. Sixers were up by 12, dominating. They take Joel Embiid out for 4 minutes. Whole league collapses. Cannot happen. The non-Embiid minutes have always been brutal, especially in the playoffs, but we're just numb to it. We just continue to act like it's no big deal. That's why, like I said at the deadline, Sixers were all hyped about Buddy Hield, who, by the way, didn't play a damn minute in this game because he is unplayable. You don't have enough shooters. You don't have enough scorers. Your supporting cast is also not enough. And Sixer fans can continue to sit here and blame Joel Embiid, the reigning MVP. And I'm not saying that he doesn't need to be better. He does. But your second guy, Tyrese Maxey, goes 8 for 21, 23 points, inefficient. Tobias Harris, I said I would have only played him 12 minutes this game. Now I wouldn't play him at all, honestly. 4 for 10, 10 points, had 8 rebounds. 4 of those came in the first quarter. That's what Tobias does, I've noticed. He comes out and he stuffs the stat sheet in the first quarter, and then he completely disappears the rest of the game. Did nothing to help you out later in this game. And he's a max player. And yeah, we can look at the future and say we're going to have all this cap space and get, better fits around Embiid. But it's frustrating. We came in here and I said all season, Tobias is going to be the Achilles heel. And we're just accepting of it now. People just are blindsided by Tobias not producing every single game. He played good defense in this game, but that was about it. And that was only for the first half. Kelly Oubre gave us 19 tonight. Kelly finally stepped up, had a decent game, but on 15 attempts, and he also struggled guarding Jalen Brunson. And again, I will tip my cap to the Knicks and Brunson, who had 47 and 10. Unbelievable game for Brunson, and you just couldn't stop him. You could not stop him, and he was getting to his spots. Was he whining a lot? Yes, and him and Josh Hart have just become, just unbearable in this series, just the whining and crying, but he was getting to his spots and he was making his shots. And that's all you can really say. The Sixers threw Batum on him, and Tobias and Oubre, nothing mattered. Couldn't stop him. And unfortunately, that's where we're at. There was another play late in this game, which I thought was unacceptable, where Kyle Lowry misses a free throw. Sixers are down, and, they're down, 2? And Kyle Lowry misses a free throw. And instead of, were we down 3? Yeah, we were down 3. I'm sorry. We were down 3, and Kyle Lowry was going to make it down 2, but instead he decides to intentionally miss a free throw. And again, just a lack of communication, because Kelly Oubre standing up there, and it was actually a good miss, if you will, bounced right near Kelly Oubre and even Maxey, and they didn't go for it. So just a lack of communication. And the Knicks ended up getting back. Now, I would, again, question the strategy there from Coach Nurse, because Josh Hart just missed 2 free throws. Why would you not make that free throw and then try to foul? Why would you not try to foul and then make him miss another 2 free throws? I just don't get it. Nick Nurse, another flaw in this game. Tobias Harris staying in. Tobias Harris, in both games that he was benched in the fourth quarter, in the play-in against Miami and in game 3 of this series, Sixers came back and won. Tobias was kept in the fourth quarter, and the Sixers crumbled. I'm not saying that's the only direct correlation, but why was he in late in this game? Giving up, big-time plays, getting blown by as a defender, not hitting big shots. There was a wide-open 3 that Maxey missed with about 4 minutes to go. Tobias missed that wide-open corner 3. And the Sixers' supporting cast just is not good enough. Now, Joel Embiid talked about the environment, and I will agree with this, it was pretty lousy to watch the Knicks fans once again take over the Wells Fargo. Joel says, quote, "It's disappointing and kind of pisses me off." I'm surprised that Sixer fans really did let them come in there and control it like that. Maybe RB needs to show up to the Wells Fargo because I don't get it. But the one thing I don't agree with Embiid on is this quote here. After the game, he says, quote, "One at a time. We know we're good enough. We got no pressure. We're the 7 seed, down 3-1. A lot of guys are hurt. I don't know why we would feel the pressure." I don't agree with that quote. I don't like it. Saying that we have no pressure, we absolutely do. You have pressure every time you're in the playoffs. And, saying the guys are hurt and this and that. Nah, you got to step up and rise to the occasion because right now the Sixers are one loss away from being a first-round exit. I know they got, bad seeding and Joel being out for a couple months was frustrating, but you're here. And in my opinion, the Knicks have not really played a full game in this series as a unit. Like they're getting Brunson games now. Before they were getting the role players, but the Knicks are not that good. The Sixers are just shooting themselves in the foot like they do every single year. And the Sixers supporting cast is not that good either. Now, again, I know Joel didn't play well in the fourth quarter. He needs to be better. But somebody else, like when is somebody else going to step up and win you a game? Joel had 50 last game. Everything was all sunshine and rainbows, right? But if Joel doesn't have 50, then the team crashes and burns. It's frustrating year after year. Here's the stats before this game in this series. Joel Embiid averaging 37 a game. But let's blame Embiid, right? Let's blame him for everything. Even though Buddy Hield's averaging 0.7 points in this series. Paul Reed gave up a 12-point lead when Embiid came out for 4 minutes. Nico Batum didn't do much. Cameron Payne tried. I give him credit. He tried to get this crowd jolted back in. I would have kept them in the fourth quarter, given that, Tobias should have been benched. But again, the Sixers just feel like they don't have enough. If Embiid and Maxey don't give you 80 points, it just feels like there's no chance. And shout out to Daniel Ollinger. He says the Sixers are down 3-1, where they've been outscored by just 4 points total. I mean, that tells you all you need to know. Sixers have been right here in every game. They've been right here. Now, again, there was a game where the Knicks were gifted by the refs and this and that happened, but the past is the past. I'm looking at the Sixers dead in their eye. This was the game that you had to win. This game on your home floor was the one that you had to win, and you choked it again. You choked it again. So, again, we can look at everybody. I don't understand the rotations down the end of the game. The late game play calling was insufferable. Sixers were not prepared for the moment. Oh, and the biggest reason of them all, I'm glad I saved the best for the grand finale. What did we say was the number one key coming into this? Rebounding. And year after year, big game after big game, the Sixers continue to come out with this miserable effort on the glass. All year I've said if the Sixers had a dog of a rebounder, if they had like an Aaron Gordon type, they'd be a championship favorite. And I'm not just going to pin Tobias on this because there's other guys on this team, but at that power forward position, you need a guy who can give you 10 to 15 boards a game. Josh Hart was not having a good night, right? Josh Hart was awful. He went 0 for 7 from the field. But you know what Josh Hart did? He got you 17 rebounds, 17 boards. That is a winning type player. When the shot's not falling, does he just disconnect and say, oh, I'm done. I'm not even going to try in this game? No. He had 3 blocks. Those are winning types players. Those are the types of dogs that this team needs. And we thought they had them. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're just puppies. I don't know. Anunoby, 14 rebounds. Why can't the Sixers get a guy that can rebound the basketball? I'll tell you why. Because a max slot is filling up 1/3 of their cap, and the guy just doesn't produce. It is what it is. There were possessions late in this game in the fourth quarter where the Sixers got out-rebounded 4 times in a row. It was even at halftime. Everything was neck and neck. Nobody was really turning the ball over. Then the Sixers got sloppy in the third, and then they forgot how to rebound again in the fourth quarter, and they got hounded, and they just kept giving opportunities to the Knicks, who, again, tip your cap, looked like they wanted it more. And now they are 1 game away from advancing in the East. So those are all my thoughts. Give me yours down below. Appreciate everybody tapping in. We'll be live back again on Tuesday for Game 5 of the series. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. Philly take forever. Catch you on the next one. Peace.